Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So they're back with a Caitlyn supplementary guide, and today we're gonna be taking a look at the top ranked build for Caitlyn. Now, as of the time of recording this video, the top 8 ranked players, so that means like the rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Caitlyn are all using the same build, and it's this build. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I saw this build, I was thinking it didn't really make sense. Like, why are you going for Collector third item? Like, I don't like Collector as an item all that much anyways, but going for it like as a third item is just really strange. Or so I thought, but I've tried out the build for quite a number of matches, and I found that, wait a minute, this build's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty good. So, turns out that, this build actually works. So let's get straight into what exactly it is. So first up, we're going to start off with the Gluttonous Greaves, AD, and of course Omnivamp, as usual. And then we're going to go into the first item, probably the best first item in ADC's Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster, of course, gives you a lot of extra AD, physical vamp, as well as additional stats when you're high on health. Don't think anyone's going to question this too much. And then we're going to go into Magnetic Blaster. So Magnetic Blaster obviously gives you a couple of benefits. Firstly, you get the extra range, and Caitlyn being the highest base range already, it means that when you have the Blaster, you can be a mile away and get a free attack on people, and they can't really do anything about it because there's no one really to match your range. Now, next benefit you get from it is, of course, the attack speed, because you don't really have very much attack speed in the build, so getting attack speed from Magnetic Blaster also very good. And now we're going to get into the Collector third item. So what is going on here? Well, basically, the main reason why Collector kind of benefits you here is because you already get the prerequisite AD and the attack speed from the first two items, which is kind of stats more important than lethality. But here, what you really get is lethality. And how does lethality help? Well, obviously, on your Q and your ultimate, lethality is going to help a lot, because you don't forget, if you build more crit here, so for example, if I go for an IE here, it helps my auto attacks, yes, but it doesn't actually really help my Q or my ulti, that much, because I can't crit on my ulti or my Q. But whereas if I get lethality here, that's where it really comes in. And I have to say, personally, that's not really my style. I don't really like going for that, but I have to say that it works. That it does work. So that's why the most popular builds are these. And then after you go into more reminder, because at this point people would have already had built up the defenses, so getting the grievous wounds as well as getting the armor pen really good here. And finally, last item, we're gonna go for Infinity Edge. This is gonna overcap you on crit, so you're gonna be past 100% at this point. But getting the crit modifier on the IE is really important, increases your damage by a ton. So for the runes, I like to go for Kraken Slayer, doubles down on your strong early game, as well as, of course, just a really strong item a very strong rune, in general. Lethal Tempest is an option. There's, I think, 1 or 2 players in the top 8 that take Lethal Tempest instead of Kraken Slayer, but I think Kraken Slayer is generally better. Brutal, of course, you auto attack a lot. Giant Slayer, because it's the most efficient rune in this slot. And then, of course, Alacrity for the attack speed, because you're kind of lacking attack speed in your build, except from the Blaster. And of course, we have Bone Plating for the defensive capabilities. Not to say that the top players, a lot of them like to take other things like Nimbus Cloak and whatnot, because Caitlyn doesn't get attacked a lot. But personally, I just feel the most comfortable with Bone Plating, so that's what I go for. And we go for Flash, of course, and we normally go for Ghost, because the extra mobility, very helpful. Alright, so with all that out of the way, let's jump into our gameplay. Okay, so then jumping onto the Rift, we have Caitlyn Nami, pretty aggressive early lane. Of course, Caitlyn is generally one of the most aggressive early game champions, because she does want to just walk up and poke. Of course, we are against a Blitzcrank here, so we do have to be careful not to just get hooked into the enemy team. That wouldn't be too good, so we do have to be cautious. A little bit cautious about that one. Of course, we also have Ashe. Now, Ashe is actually a really good matchup into Caitlyn, because Ashe is the second longest base range in the game. So when you're fighting against Ashe as a Caitlyn, you cannot really take full benefit of your extra range, because simply of the fact that Ashe has really long range as well. So this is going to mean that it's going to be really difficult for you to bully her. Now, you can see what's going on here is this Master Yi invades the enemy jungle, and a huge fight's breaking out at the enemy jungle. So here we're just kind of trying to help out, kiting back. Of course, we're really late on the rotation. We pop the Ghost to get the extra kiting. We're trying to focus the Ashe, who's really low. She has Nullifying Orb. We do get the final auto attack onto the Ashe, and we do get the kill. Nami ends up dying as well. So overall, 2 for 3 trades. So far, Master Yi now goes in off of the revive. He's just come back from the revive. He's going back in. We try to headshot the Blitzcrank. He doesn't die. We are really low as well. And it's just a very, very messy situation. I got this Master Yi on my team 2 games in a row. And every game he does the same thing. He goes for a blue buff invade every single game. Now, I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's because most junglers start red buff. Either way, Blitzcrank gets caught, ends up dying to Nami. But I'm not sure why. I have to flash her because Ashe is going to slow me down and I can't actually escape. But I'm not sure why he goes for blue buff invade every game. Maybe it's because junglers in general start red buff, or you know, something like that. So he's just trying to get off some free value like by counter jungling. But both games a fight ends up breaking out, and in the other game that we played, the fight actually ends up like multiple people from both teams die, revive, get back to the fight, die, revive, get back to the fight, and the fight actually lasts for like 3 minutes, the first like 3 minutes of the game, which is completely bonkers. So here, anyway, we're back in the lane off of our reset, clearing out the minions. Ashe is like pretty low, and she is still sticking around, so we're gonna try to look for something here. We're just getting free damage onto Blitzcrank, because Blitzcrank can't really do too much to us aside from hooking us in. So, aside from that, we can just auto attack. He misses the hook, so here we're going full in onto the Ashe. She takes a headshot, she dies. Blitzcrank has to run for the hills, and yeah, so you can see that I said it's not really easy to bully Ashe, which is supposed to be true, but this Ashe is not really making use of her range, so she's constantly just getting poked down by me, and we are just getting a lot of just benefit just based off of that. So here we're just keeping the wave here, we're auto-attacking the Blitzcrank. I honestly just body block the hook for Nami because I don't mind getting hooked in. It allows me to get 1 or 2 free auto-attacks, and there's no one to follow up for Blitzcrank anyway, because Ashe is like obviously still in base, so we're just going to take the hook and just get some extra damage off. With that done, we can just get off a reset now because we have a huge wave here. They're going to take some time to clear it. We get ourselves the Vamp Scepter, and then we can just hit back to the headshot still primed and ready. You know, if we are in a situation where we want to auto attack one of the enemy champions to, just deal that extra damage to him. Here, Nami gets hooked in by the Blitzcrank, gets stunned up by the Ashe, and honestly not too much we can really do here. I'm trying to focus the Blitzcrank so I can trade the kill on him. He escapes. I'm going to now focus the Ashe, and now I'm really low, so I'm going to pop the ulti, finish off the Ashe with the ulti. Master Yi finishes off the Blitzcrank, and you know, it all goes well. Now, one of the kind of tricks you can do with the ulti, I wouldn't really call this a trick, but for example, you see here, I'm focusing the low health target Blitzcrank, but now he's escaped, so now we have to focus the high health target, which is Ashe. So if we manage to focus Ashe down to a point where she dies to ult, then you can actually just ult either one of them, and they basically are forced to choose who lives and who dies. So in this case, obviously I'm going to choose to ult the ADC. Now Blitzcrank, he's 1 HP, so he can either choose to block for the Ashe or let the Ashe die. So if you're the support, the better thing to do is to block for the Ashe. But obviously Blitzcrank didn't really do that. He wasn't really that close to Ashe anyway, but my point is that you're gonna get a kill whatever it is. It's either you either kill the Blitzcrank or you kill the Ashe. So obviously this is not a situation that's very easy to find yourself in, which is definitely not something you're gonna encounter every match. But there are situations like this where you can focus both targets and put them both at 1 HP, and your ult will definitely kill one of them. So your Blitzcrank whiffs another hook. We're taking a lot of, we're doing a lot of extra damage. Ashe is now really low. Ults me right outside of the tower range, but she can't really do anything. Neither can Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank has no cooldowns. So instead, we are going to just get a free kill onto Ashe with the help of the Q. Here we're ulting the Blitzcrank for the damage. Master Yi just randomly dies to the tower, and Blitzcrank's down 1 HP. He, almost escapes. So Nami ends up finishing off the kill. I actually popped the Ghost there to chase him down, but turns out it wasn't actually needed. And here we're just going to push out the entire wave. Obviously, we secure first tower of the game. We're 4-0 and 3 now. Incredibly fed. And here we're going to see if we can complete our Bloodthirster. There we go. And even have enough to start building into our Magnetic Blaster. So here, Dragon and Herald have both spawned. Master Yi is actually doing the Herald. I actually thought, that Nami could rotate. Nami's actually rotating mid now to try to help Kennen. Kennen does end up dying. Ashe is actually, you can see, clearing out vision in the enemy jungle. Obviously, she can't really fight me, so I'm not really too scared here. I know the entire enemy team is on the Herald because they just stole the Herald. And now I'm going to start my own rotation, clearing out enemy vision on the way. I know Ashe is behind me, still in the lane, so I'm just going to slowly rotate over. The fight's kind of over, so instead I'm just going to rotate and get the minion wave instead, which is still a lot of gold value for me. Don't quite mind that at all. and Ash is now kind of behind me on the rotation somewhere. So here you can see Nami's actually rotating up to help Ezreal, but I can, based on what I see on the map, like I was obviously scrolling my minimap, I know he was dead, there's no way he's getting out, so I'm gonna do the highest value play here, which is to go for mid lane wave and mid lane tower play, so we secure all of the tower, all the wave, and then we are going for the tower. Volibear just ults in, gets a chunk of damage, and it's like 1 HP, so I'm just gonna ult him, he dies because no one is around to block for him. Blitzcrank is on the next target, we're just focusing him down, he flashes over the wall, Cannon flashes to follow. Blitzcrank is left at 1 HP, has to run back, and I end up getting a free kill here. Now here Vladimir is taking a ton of damage, I'm going to aim and time it right at the pool, getting myself a triple kill. Now if I was fed before, I'm super duper fed now, 8k gold in the pocket, nearly as much as like 2 people on the enemy team combined. And now we're just going to continue on to focus the tower, focus the mid lane wave. Master Yi is actually covering for us bot, so he's actually clearing the wave, and he's going in on Ashe in the bot lane. So Ashe actually kills Master Yi, which is kind of embarrassing for Master Yi. Volibear runs up to put down the Herald, but in doing so he's way overextended, so he's just going to get focused down by 3 people and dies, and he doesn't even get the plates from the Herald because he died. So the Herald was, I wouldn't say wasted because it did do a chunk of damage to our tower, but it's wasted in the sense that no one actually got the gold from it, so it's kind of wasted to a very large extent. So here we complete the blaster, and we even have enough to pick up the serrated dirk, of course building towards our collector. And here honestly our damage is just completely bonkers. We're so ahead of the curve. We have 2.5 items at this point, and most people are just starting to complete their first item. So we are super duper ahead of the curve, and honestly, this match looks like it's going really well, but it really isn't, because if you guys take a look, we have an Ezreal top that's 2 and 4, we have a 1 and 4 Master Yi, and we have a 2 and 5 Cannon. So we are basically the main carry of our team, and we're the main hope of our team. You can see that on the enemy team we have some super fed members, and we have a Cannon, we have a Vladimir who's super fed, he's 5 and 2, and Ashe, despite dying to us like a couple of times, she's actually 5 and 4, and she's not actually doing all that badly, despite the fact that she's been kind of feeding us. Speaking of which, we pick up a quick kill onto her, but she somehow managed to accrue 5 kills for herself, and she's actually the most fed member on the enemy team. I'm not sure how that happened, but yeah, that did happen. So here I'm trying to take advantage of the range. Blitzcrank has no hook, so he's no threat to us. Headshot onto the Vladimir, we're just kiting back the Blitzcrank, the Urgot, and the Vladimir, just attacking wherever we can. You can see Urgot's not really low, we're just going to pop the ulti. We're going to kill the Urgot because, again, Blitzcrank is not going to block for him. Vladimir's not going to block for him either because Vladimir is also 1 HP. So, again, in a situation where we're going to definitely get one of the kills, and we did get it on the Urgot, who is arguably, obviously Vladimir is the most valuable here, but we can't really ult him, so he's definitely more valuable than the Blitzcrank. So we're going to just get the kill onto the Urgot. And now, again, the problem here is that we are really fed, but our team is kind of not, and our team is kind of struggling. So really the problem in this game is we really need to survive, because if we die, our team is just going to collapse in front of our eyes. So here we're going to try to get a catch onto Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is able to escape. I'm just down kiting back. Ashe actually ults me, but I managed to buffer the net. Ashe is focusing me, but I'm able to pick up the kill with the help of the Collector. I'm going to ult the Urgot to do just a little bit of damage before I leave. And of course, wary that Urgot can just toss his ult. Obviously, we can see in the replay tool that he doesn't actually have ult anymore, but in the game itself, I didn't actually see him ult, so I was thinking he might still have ult, so he might just try to snipe me, so I was trying to be careful with my pathing here. We're able to basically heal up off of the jungle camps with the help of the Bloodthirster, but we're gonna back anyway to pick up some items.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Probably gonna grab the enchant. Yeah, we grabbed the QSS here because there's a lot of CC on the enemy team. Ashe Arrow, Volibear stun, and whatnot. Of course, we can't really QSS Blitzcrank unless we predict his hook. But long story short is, basically that QSS is really good pickup here, especially against the Ashe. We're gonna get a red buff share from Master Yi, and trying to see if we can catch out the Ashe here. She's like in the area, so here we're just gonna get into an auto attack battle. Obviously, we know who wins this one. I even get greedy with it and don't pop my QSS. Honestly, if Master Yi wasn't here, I might have actually died to Ashe because of how overconfident I was that I could out DPS the Ashe. That might be true, but when you get stunned for like a good 1+ seconds, and she can free fire on you with the help of the Bork as well, you guess you don't really win. So should have instantly QSS that one and just gotten rid of her. But because I was really greedy with my cooldowns, I nearly actually ended up dying there. Thankfully though, I do survive, so thankfully it's all good. But here, my whole team as well as the whole enemy team are somehow just at the top side. So here, I know that Volibear is on the dragon most likely. So here, I'm just trying to focus Volibear, not the dragon, because Volibear can just smite the dragon. So here I'm just trying to focus him down and see if I can, just kill him while he's doing the dragon. Unfortunately, Ashe comes off the rotation. I this time QSS her out instantly, but unfortunately I don't end up killing the Volibear. I end up actually dying instead and giving a huge shutdown, over 12 kill shutdown over, which is really not ideal. Of course, so that was definitely a mistake. I tried to make a play without my team, and honestly, I did kind of calculate it. I was like, me versus Volibear, I think I can take down Volibear easily. I think, Ashe was dead, so she would take some time to get there, but unfortunately, she got there a little bit faster than what I predicted, so, that was an informed decision, I would say, but unfortunately, I just kind of misestimated how long it would take Ashe to get to the Dragon Pit. And I think if Ashe was just a couple of seconds later, I would have killed the Volibear, and then I would be stuck in a 1v1 against Ashe, which may or may not have gone well. But I would have minimally killed the Volibear and maybe been able to actually get the dragon here. So we don't really know how that would have happened. But we'll have to see. We won't really see, but we can only kind of speculate. So anyways, here we're just going to grab ourselves the Raptors, continue to maintain our farm, and just keep on trying to carry our team. So basically just farming whatever we can. You can see in terms of gold, we still have the most gold in the game, and by quite a fair margin. Next behind us is Ashe, who's about 2k gold behind us. And yeah, so we kind of maybe want to group with our team and just use them as bait and just free fire from the backline. That's the main way we win. Speaking of which, here my team goes in for a fight. I'm free firing. No one is focusing me at all. I'm free firing onto the Volibear. Volibear gets a kill. We get the kill on him. And here is where I make a mistake. For some reason, I just flash into the enemy team. I get focused, and I just end up dying. Now, I saw blood in the water, and I got a little bit too excited. I just flashed in like a madman. Thankfully though, I was able to do enough damage to all of them to put them at 1 HP to end up giving Master Yi the ability to clean them up, and overall we ended up trading 3 for 5 and we did get a clean ace. Master Yi and Ezreal are still alive. So overall, the fight, I wouldn't say it went well because I kind of made a madman play of just flashing in right there. But overall, the result still ended up going well for me and my team. So now we're back on the map. Master Yi ends up dying, which is going to be quite catastrophic. I was going for the red buff here, but I realized that if my team all ends up dying, the enemy team can just get a free Baron. So I'm going to run to my team ASAP and see if I can help out with anything. Looks like my team is just retreating, which is of course the right thing to do. Beer Blitzcrank goes in, goes ham. Urgot is going in as well. I'm just free firing again. So these are really the kind of fights that you want to be in, where your team is with you and they are basically frontlining for you and you can free fire onto them. So here Nami is now basically my frontline. Vladimir tries to come in on the flank. However, he's now alone. He basically makes the same mistake that I did in the previous fight, which is that he just goes in by himself. The enemy team does pick up Baron though, while this whole distraction is happening. Ashe hits me with the arrow. I'm going to QSS it just in case Volibear comes in for a follow-up. And we are able to only get the Vladimir, and we're kind of going to have to run for the hills. Master Yi off the revive, runs straight into the enemy team and basically goes straight back to gray screen. Yeah, Master Yi is not too good. Honestly, no one on my team is really that good. Yeah, it's not going too good, in general now. So now the thing is that I'm 15-2-8, and I'm like just struggling to carry this team because they're all just running in and inting non-stop. So I really have to kind of take advantage of the fact that I know my team is just inting non-stop, and I'm just gonna have to stand behind them and DPS the enemy team while they're busy attacking my teammates and killing them. That's gonna be the game plan for a while now. Now, how successful was the game plan? you know, it's like so so far. Now here I'm trying to get a trap onto the Ashe. Ashe misses the arrow, realizes that she does not win against me without the arrow, and instantly backs off, which is definitely the right thing to do for her here. Now Vladimir is next to the party. Now Ashe and Vladimir, two of the two carries of the enemy team, trying to grab this tower, and I'm realizing that this tower is a little bit hard to defend. Nami wave does come in though, so we are able to finish off the Ashe. Vladimir is the next target. We actually finish him off with the collector on the net, and we're able to actually pick both of them up. And now we can clear out this wave. We're actually lifestealing off of this wave as well, while the enemy team is actually picking up the dragon. Again, the dragon doesn't really matter here. What's important is, you know, the fight and the kills. Unfortunately though, Master Yi dies, and then Nami now dies as well, so it's getting to a pretty sticky situation. We barely actually managed to complete our back. Of course, getting IE last item. Now here Blitzcrank is way behind enemy line, so we're trying to see if we can get a free kill on him. Instead, I'm just gonna focus down this ward. I'm not gonna waste my time chasing Blitzcrank, because Blitzcrank is really not a valuable target, and my time can be better spent, you know, clearing out vision, getting minions and things like that. I do help out with an ult though to see if Ezreal can finish him off. Turns out he can, so I'm actually just gonna walk over net and just headshot the Blitzcrank to get the kill, and which puts me in actually a pretty dangerous position if Urgot and Volibear came to collapse on me. Thankfully they don't, so I'm actually gonna just walk away back to the safety of my team. So meanwhile, I'm trying to sneak some raptors as well, right next to the enemies, and I am able to pick up the raptor camp. I'm shooting them from over the wall. Blitzcrank, not Blitzcrank, Cannon goes in, does quite a chunk of damage. We eventually are gonna focus whoever we can. In this case, it's the Volibear. Volibear is taking a chunk of damage. Vladimir is now the next one going in. We're gonna flash away from the Vladimir. Now there are so many people who are so low. I'm trying to finish off the Vladimir, the main damage here. I'm gonna ult either Volibear or Urgot, and as I said, I'm gonna kill one of them because only one of them can you know, one of them will die and one of them is gonna block for the other, maybe. So we are gonna get the Urgot. Obviously Volibear would have been more ideal because he is the jungler, but we do end up getting Urgot instead. Whole enemy team is dead except for the jungler as well as Blitzcrank. Elder Dragon is now up. Now my jungler is still dead for 10 more seconds, so I can't just go ahead and do Elder Dragon. If not, I could just run into Volibear coming in to steal. So we have to kind of wait for a little bit while my jungler is respawning. Now that he is up on the map, I'm going to start it off. I'm going to focus the Volibear first because, you know, again, he's the more important target. I'm going to QSS the Ashe ult again. I'm not just focusing Volibear. Volibear is done for. He's down. And with that, Elder Dragon should be secured. I'm going to grab myself the fruit. And you'll see what we can do here. I do a huge chunk of damage to Ashe. Cannon finishes her off, and Master Yi for once doesn't actually go for the random fight and actually focuses the objective instead, which is of course what we need at this point in time. So with the Elder Dragon secured, Baron has now respawned as well. We can try to get Baron. Blitzcrank gets caught out. Vladimir is getting caught out as well. I think Vladimir is going to die to Elder. Yep, he does die to Elder. So now entirety of the enemy team is now dead, and with that we can just run straight down mid and just end the game. We don't even need the Baron anymore. We're 21, 2, and 13. Pretty insane KDA, pretty insane game, pretty insane hard carry from us if I do say so myself. But I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.